With the end of the college football season drawing near, fans around the nation have been stuffed with great action all season long. As the weather continues to get colder, some teams continue to heat up, while other teams go cold turkey. Hello everyone and welcome back to Penn State Sports Night. I'm Josh Bartosik. Joined alongside me are Nolan Collery and JC Colavita, and we're here to bring you a festive view of the college football season. So gentlemen, we're going to start with something that's in the name of this holiday, and that's Thanksgiving. That would be thanks. So Nolan, we'll start with you. What are a few things that you're thankful for in this college football season?
Yeah, I'm going to say it's one player on one team. You see him on the screen. They play in the Rocky Top. It's Hendon Hooker and the Tennessee Volunteers. They have been my second favorite team to watch all year. And if you want my opinion, I'm all about the Hendon Heisman campaign right now. He's number 2 in projections, right behind C.J. Stroud, according to ESPN. And I think he's going to stay there for the rest of the year, above guys like Drake May and Blake Corum. I still think he is the guy. The big thing about Heisman winners is they have a Heisman moment. And he had that in his game against Alabama, where they defeated them. Even though they were the 5 seed at the time and Alabama was the 8, it still felt like Alabama's game. But they were able to pull it out. Huge game, 5 touchdown passes to only 1 interception. The other thing about this Tennessee team is they are my favorite team to sneak into the playoffs right now. The big reason I can say that is because Michigan and Ohio State, the 2 and 3 right now, still have to play the game. One of them is going to lose the game, meaning that it's going to be a one-loss team, just like Tennessee. And Tennessee's only loss is to Georgia, which is the best team in the nation, in my opinion. So I'm really thankful that Tennessee is playing out of their minds on the Rocky Top right now, and I'm really looking forward to seeing them continue.
I agree with you, Nolan. It's nice to see a team in the SEC outside of Alabama and Georgia really doing well this season. But Thanksgiving is really one of my favorite holidays, and a big symbol of Thanksgiving is the cornucopia, or otherwise known as the Horn of Plenty. And Max Duggan and the TCU Horned Frogs have given us plenty of things to be excited about this year. The Big 12 does not get a lot of respect, but Max Duggan down in Fort Worth, they have just had a great season. He's a great story. You know, he started for 4 years, but he did not have the starting job. He had to come in for an injured Chandler Morris in week 1, led his team to a 10-0 record, and it doesn't help that he has a future first-round pick at wide receiver in Quentin Johnston to really help out his cause and help this team get to a playoff. Duggan may not have a future, a bright future in the NFL, but he is making his mark right now, and they're one of the best stories, if not the best story, in college football right now. And talk about first-year head coach Sonny Dykes. This man is taking over. He was not a slam dunk head coaching hire. He was 30-18 at SMU, and they had a pretty solid run while he was there. But he came in replacing Gary Patterson as a legend. Gary Patterson has a statue in TCU. It's really tough to replace a guy who has a statue. And TCU bringing them 10-0 as a first-year head coach, their best start since 2010 when they were in the Rose Bowl. It's a great story, and I cannot wait to see them moving forward. They're already in the Big 12 championship game. They just got to keep rolling. Unfortunately, I think that they don't really have much leeway. If they lose one game, I think they're out of the playoff conversation, but they look pretty good moving forward heading into that championship game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you talk about the statues they have outside of the stadium. Sonny Dykes might be one of many statues that are erected after this season, depending on how TCU finishes. I'm a big believer in the Horned Frogs. We always talk about Texas, the Longhorns, horns up. I'm talking about horns down. It's Horned Frogs time, and it will be all the way through January. I love that pick. And then for you, Nolan, I also love the Hendon Heisman watch. You talk about Drake May. I personally don't like him. No NC State bias whatsoever. Not like I was born in North Carolina or anything like that. I would never have any bias towards that. But he has been arguably the best quarterback in all of college football outside of C.J. Stroud, besides his one game against Georgia. But one thing that I've been really thankful for, I'll just throw this in really quick for you guys. I love to see a team like Texas A&M that threw so much money at all these new recruits not even get eligible for a bowl game. It just really brings joy to my heart. Maybe I'm evil-natured. Who knows? But I just love watching chaos, and there's been a lot of chaos in just the state of Texas alone this season. But moving on, a few weeks after Thanksgiving is a lot of people's favorite holidays. That would be Christmas, and everyone loves the carols, the songs, the movies, and obviously the presents and gifts that come with it. Everyone wishes for that one thing they want. So, JC, I'll start with you. What's a one thing or a couple things you're wishing for this further holiday season?
I am really hoping for some chaos this year. I want some shakeups in the top 4. Give me an LSU win in the SEC championship game. Give me a USC loss in the Pac-12 championship game. I don't care who wins Ohio State versus Michigan. Give me a Big Ten West, Big Ten champion. That would be really cool to see, just a really big shakeup. Now, that does call for potentially a 4-team SEC playoff, which Hopefully it doesn't happen. I'm kind of a little bit tired of the SEC, but I want some new teams in. There have been 32 possible teams that could have made the college football playoff. 13 schools have made an appearance. Of those 13 schools, 5 have won titles. Of those 5 schools, 3 of them are coming out of the SEC. We need some fresh meat. We need some fresh meat in the college football playoff. That's why I want TCU to go all the way. They're a great story, and let's face it, Georgia has had their time at the top. Yes, they won the national championship last year. The SEC, I want to see some new faces. Give me a solid. Maybe USC finds their way in. Maybe Oregon finds their way in somehow as a 2-loss team. Maybe LSU finds their way in as a 2-loss team. Anything other than what we've seen before would be great, and this is why they're expanding to 12 teams, so they want to see newer teams in there. Look at Washington. Washington made it the first year of the playoff. They haven't been back since. What's up with that? Got to find some new teams. Got to find some craziness heading into those conference championship games.
Yeah, I'm definitely hoping that something interesting happens, something that we're not used to seeing. It's time for me to be biased as a fan. Earlier I said that Tennessee was my second favorite team to watch. What was my favorite team? The Penn State Nittany Lions, of course. And they have had a phenomenal season so far. 8-2 to start, only losing to Ohio State and Michigan, both undefeated, and number 2 and 3 in the country, respectively. Penn State only has 2 games left to play, an away game against Rutgers and a home game against Michigan State, and I feel confident in saying that feels like a solid 2-win schedule. They've got a really good chance to end it 10-2, so my wish is for a New Year's 6 game, push out of the Citrus Bowl, which is where we're projected right now against Ole Miss. Very respectable game, very respectable opponent, but I want to finish in that 10-12 range in the country just so that I can see Penn State play in one of those, coveted games.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you brought up a great point. Chaos is always fun, and with the potential 12-team format that we're going to see in a couple of years, it could really be something fun to watch, and I think there'll be a lot more chaos. And going off of that Penn State stuff, I mean, look, this is a team that a lot of people thought was going to go 8-4 or as their peak coming into the season. So for them to go 10-2 and maybe even be in a Rose Bowl if somehow both Ohio State and Michigan make it into the college football playoff would really be something exciting to see. But for me personally, I have a little bit of wish, and I want to talk directly to the fans here in Happy Valley. I'm specifically going to talk into this camera over here because listen to me, everyone here. Stop booing Sean Clifford and demanding for Drew Aller. It doesn't make any sense. His time is not now. Enjoy the happy little 10-2 season that you could potentially get with a possible New Year's 6 or a Rose Bowl, and stop complaining. Stop being a Scrooge. You have a good enough quarterback that can do it now. It doesn't make any sense. Anyways, the holiday season is nearing in full swing, and so brings the beginning of the end of the college football season. With just a few weeks left in the regular season, each team will be trying to finish the season on a dinner roll. That will do it for this edition of Penn State Sports Night. For JC Colavita and Nolan Collery, I'm Josh Bartosik. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, enjoy the rest of your night.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night. We hope you liked that segment.
And we're sure there's other Penn State Sports Night segments that you're going to love as well. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content.
And check us out on social media for updates and behind-the-scenes clips and pics. Follow us on Twitter at PSSN and on Instagram at PSU Sports Night to keep up with all the action.
For all of us here at the Belisari Media Center, we are
Penn State Sports Night.